Falls on. Speaking of things that are, we'll see how that goes.
I appreciate that Tank is also a Red Sox fan, and I wasn't alone in the nonsense, the fuckery that happened right when we got off stream on Saturday night. Like, if I didn't have any other Red Sox fan in the house, I don't know, I would have had to just leave and go away for a while and talk to some some friendly faces. But holy shit, was there a bombshell after the stream?
Mm-hmm.
Alex Cora and five other coaches were fired. Um, we fired the manager, the bench coach, the third base coach, the hitting coach, Pete Fatsi gone, and another hitting assistant, Dylan Lawson. So,
What a
first of
choice.
all, a choice. Let me get before we start going more anti like team and front office and stuff. I will
Mm-hmm.
say like Cora's performance has not been great thus far this season.
Sure.
When you look back at it, he won a World Series in 2018, which all Red Sox coaches do for some reason. The second you get hired, you win a World Series, and then you just struggle for the rest of your time there. Francona did it in '04, Farrell did it in 13, and Cora did it in 18. Um, with that being said, it started to sour a little bit the last couple years. We made the playoffs last year. It felt promising, but the difference in roster construction from 2018 to what the Red Sox look like now is so drastically different. And I don't know if Alex Cora is the right person to lead that team. He's a great manager when he has the pieces. You're a competitive team. He knows you inside and out, and you can make decisions based on a much longer resume. I think
Yep.
that benefits him. But when you're trying to get kids to learn the game and become veterans in their own right, I don't know if he was the right man for the job. It didn't seem like it with the way he's treated younger players in the past, the way that the younger guys talked about him in the last couple days post firing. Roman didn't seem too broken up about it. Marcelo Meyer didn't seem too broken up about it. It was all the veterans like Trevor Story that had things to say.
Yeah, but you think he just lost the room then? He's just
I
gone.
don't. I think he's still. I think regardless of how he treated one guy or the next, I think he commanded respect.
Okay.
I think no matter what people were, I don't think there was ever a point where Alex Cora lost the locker room. I
Right.
think he started to give less and less of a fuck of what the people above him were saying, mainly Craig Breslow, and I think especially ownership because I mean, why would you really care what ownership thinks at this point, other
Well,
than
you
that they're
wouldn't.
signing your checks? Like they've clearly put no, they've shown no modicum that they want to win. Like none, not a bit, not an ounce.
Yeah.
Um, it's cutting corners, it's cheaping out on players, it's not signing guys, and then they just keep needing scapegoats, whether it's GMs like Heim Bloom who really rebuilt the organization post Dombrowski,
Mm-hmm.
or coaches. Um, but basically, this rift sort of started last season. I got this here. Some Red Sox staffers believed even last season that Breslow wanted to make wholesale changes to replace coaches he'd inherited when he took over at Fenway after 2023. Many Red Sox players are well aware that Breslow had questioned the abilities and methods of hitting coach Pete Fatsi and his lieutenants. That group in particular was perceived to have absorbed outsized blame for the failure of prospect Christian Campbell to achieve internal projections. Basically, Craig Breslow was like, I have this graph, I have these numbers, I have this model
Mm-hmm.
that tells me Christian Campbell's supposed to be a good player. He's not living up to that. That's your fault. Maybe the model's wrong, brother. Like the pitching lab that we have, they have to have the exact same prospect every single time for it to work. They need a big lefty with crazy extension that throws hard. That's not a pitching lab. That's just a type. Like this is what I want, and if I don't have that, then it doesn't work. If you're doing the same thing that you're doing with the pitching on the hitting side, you're only looking for a certain effective player, and maybe it just doesn't fucking work. Um, Also, if these guys, you were questioning the ability of these guys last year, why didn't you make a change in the offseason? Why did you extend half the guys that were fired? Jason Varitek was off getting managerial interviews
Yeah.
all offseason.
Yeah, he
He was like,
was.
no, I'm going to come back to the Red Sox because I've been here since 1997. I was the captain of this team. Like, this is where I belong. And you're just going to fucking fire him, which the reassigned thing Come on,
LOL.
he was fired. You took him out of the dugout to put him somewhere else, unless that's in Craig Breslow's seat, which I don't think he should get, mind you. Then that's not a you fired him. That's not a
Can we
relocation.
can we talk about so baseball prospects in a nutshell are almost never right. Like
Right.
almost never. Like remember Eloy Jimenez?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be the next great guy, right?
Yep.
Didn't live up to it. And that doesn't mean he's a bad player. It just means he didn't live up to the hype. The amount of prospects that, I mean, Brett Lowry for the Jays was that guy. Came in, I think he had 3 homers in his debut. They're like, this guy's going to be the power hitting third baseman, and he's Canadian. And then he didn't live up to it. He was a good player, but he wasn't like a sell the farm to get him guy. And now we're talking about, well, managers didn't get the most out of this guy. It's like, you sure about that? You sure they didn't get the most out of him, or that maybe that's just the most and your plan is wrong? Maybe the scouting is incorrect here, and that's the issue.
That's sort of where I'm getting at as a whole with the Red Sox is that there isn't like you're going to blame the coach for this, but it's just another scapegoat. Clearly, the issue is the system as a whole. You keep having these guys come up that you're like, oh, this doesn't work. Let's trade them off for this asset, whatever it might be. We're going to get rid of these prospects to get Dustin May because he fits what we're looking for in a pitcher. Guess what? He fucking sucked. He had a 6 ERA. Same shit with Walker Buehler. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's the actual fundamental system. Why are these guys coming up and not learning how to play baseball? Why can we still not play defense at an MLB level
Don't know.
consistently year in and year out? That has to be something in the system, not necessarily that like Cora's not there to teach people how to play baseball. And if that's what we need, then fine, you got to get a different coach. But that should be something that's hashed out in the minor leagues. And as you're developing these guys, you should be getting not necessarily finished products, but close to it once they hit the MLB roster.
Yeah, they should be good. Should be ready at least to
The
take
thi-
on the next step, right?
Right. And the thing, there's a bit about Bregman in here too. According to people who were in the Sox clubhouse in 2025, they were granted anonymity in this article, as they
Of
should
course
be.
they would.
The disconnect between Breslow and certain members of the coaching staff, mainly the hitting guys, Fatsy, people under Lawson, Cronin, etc. Breslow would ask Bregman for feedback. He was a consistent advocate for the current coaching staff, and according to this article, which had multiple people writing for it, including Ken Rosenthal, that was a main reason why they weren't fired last year. Okay, so then you're going to give them extensions, but you're going to not fire, but let go of the guy that you valued his opinion so highly to keep these guys on your staff, but you're not going to sign him long term in free agency. Make that make sense. Like, oh, your opinion's really valued here to the point that we're going to bring other people back because you said so, but we're not going to bring you back.
Yeah,
Make
it's
that
kind
make fucking sense.
there's no way to make it make sense. It's not great.
Then we get to the press conference post firing. Breslow and Kennedy not on the same page. How? How are you not on the same page? Breslow's like, this is a team decision. We all met together and we all came to this conclusion. I'm not quoting him word for word, but read through his computer, his AI generated response, and that's what you get. And then Kennedy comes out, and the first words out of his mouth, well, that was a Craig Breslow decision.
Coach
Like,
G-
okay, well, that's not what he said, and you're also doing all this in front of a Baltimore Orioles logo, which is nonsense.
Coach GPT.
Yeah, literally, that's fucking Craig Breslow to a T. Cora was fired because Breslow needs a scapegoat because his seat is getting hot. That's why all of these changes were made. That's why he pivoted off of his philosophy of, I don't want to make drastic changes early in a season. Okay, well, you just did 17 games in.
Of course.
You need a scapegoat because your job is on the line. And if Cora went down because just the incompetence of the organization as a whole, the like clear non-committal stance on winning, like I don't blame him for cutting ties or, getting out while he still can. The picture that they posted of Cora and Veritek and all the fired coaches all smiling with the caption happy,
Yeah.
that should tell you everything you need to know. That was a united front. Craig Breslow wanted to get that out of the building. The only coaches that are on the staff were hired by Craig Breslow. We are now fully in the Craig Breslow era, and I don't expect him to last the end of the year.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. I said there was a former player that was quoted that said, "This is like shitting your pants and changing your shirt."
Yes.
It's like you fired Alex Cora. Fine, I will listen to arguments as to why he should no longer be with the team, but so should Craig Breslow. Everybody should be gone if this is what we're doing.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So
It's dysfunctional. It's directionless. Ownership can't face the media. John Henry wasn't involved in any of the media, any of the press conferences post firing. Management can't face the players. Craig Breslow was like, "Oh, actually, we're not taking any questions from the players on this whole matter." The fuck you mean? They're then they're not going to play. Like that's what I would have said. Be like, okay, well, we'll play when you want to answer our questions. Then you can eat the fucking money because baseball's all guaranteed. We want to win, but not bad enough to spend the money. We blame the coaches for not being able to do anything with this dog shit of a roster that they are handed by an incompetent front office. That's every decision is dictated by a computer.
balls